This is going to be episode 6 of 0 to 4, and we're going to start this week the other way around, and we're going to check in on our nuke that we made 2 weeks ago, because I've got a feeling that it's going to be pretty full. I also am worried that I might have damaged the queen last week, so we're going to go in and inspect. Oh, this thing's heavier than I remember. So there are eggs. And larva.
There she is.
Where?
Right near the middle.
Oh yeah, so she is. So it doesn't look like she's damaged, because she's got lots of stuff going on there. But it's just a little bit on the back end of her tail, which looks like almost the scale or whatever they would call it around the outside is still sticking out slightly. However, there is a lot of eggs the whole way through this. This is a heavy frame. So they have stores. Also eggs in that one. Capped brood in this one, but this frame was out of the old one, right? Just a bit of brood comb that they've built down for whatever reason. So we will take that back. And that's from the old frame as well. Look at that, that's one of the new frames. That's one of the new frames, and it's full of lava. So this colony's actually okay to stay in here, I think. What do you reckon? For now? Until we start seeing all that getting capped over? Or do you think we should put it in an upgraded hive? More than 80%, she says. Okay, let's put it back together. Excuse me bees, can I get access to the bottom of this? I don't know why you've clustered up there like that, but you have. I put you guys back in. Everyone in. Okay, cool. So continuing on with episode 6, we have checked the hive this morning at the house, the nuke box, sorry, and our new Carpathian queen to replace the queen that we put in the nuke arrived this morning. So we've got her here in this box, which I'm not sure if you can see it through that. But she's going to go in the first hive first to replace that, and then we're going to inspect the other ones to see what kind of honey and whether the brood boxes that we double brooded last week have got anything in. Let's go. Right, she's going to go up there for now. We're starting to get capped. That means honey soon. So considering this queen doesn't even, this colony doesn't even have a queen, they're keeping themselves busy. So let's get down below and have a look. I was expecting it to be a lot more grumpy given the fact that they don't have a queen. The excluder's stuck to the bottom of that. So let's just double check for any queen cells. This is where it's going to get noisy because I'm going to start thingying these bees off the frames just to make sure if I have to for queen cells. That one's not a problem. So they've tried to make some play cups again, but realistically there's nothing that they can do with them, so I'm just going to squash them all down regardless. There's a capped queen cell there, look. So that'll be coming out. You get a close up on that one. So they did manage to make a cell. So that one will definitely be coming out. So we're going to put a new queen. Yeah, so this one's going to get shaked off, every single one. Because we need to make sure there's no queen cells on these ones. Oh, now he dropped it. Clay cup's going down. That's just the remnants of that queen cell that I took out. So I'll just make sure that's totally gone. We've got some drones, but nothing else, so that one's all good. So there we've got queen cells in the middle again, capped. So these guys have been trying. Look at that. Queen cells, queen cells, queen cells. Emergency ones drawn out from the frame. So every single one of these is going to come down. So I'm going to do this kind of fast now just to speed it all up. They might start to get very grumpy because this is me essentially dooming their colony in their eyes. No more on that one. Nope. In fact, you know what? I might leave these frames out just to give me some space while I do this. Because as I shake them in, it's only going to get more and more rowdy. One on that one. Oop. Quite a lot of nectar dripping out of that one, or water rather. Is it water or is it nectar? Excuse me, ladies. Nothing on that one, but because I'm shaking them, that's why you're seeing all this kind of nectar falling out. But to be honest, Jade, I'm kind of wishing we'd brought another brood box because there's a lot of nectar in these frames. But it's necessary to make sure the queen gets accepted. Just going to take them down because they're a bit high for my liking. fresh for him, didn't really do that before. Another big queen cell on that one, so that's another good example of what one would look like. Pretty gnarly. Come over this one. This guy coming out. So if you look at this guy, he's just coming out. If I take that piece off his head. This guy's the same, there's one here. Just starting to eat his way out. New bees! Anyway, let's get back to work. Because these guys are all over the place right now. Pretty sure that's all brood, but again I'm going to just take these two down because they're a little bit high. So even though this is new comb, they're trying to put play cups in it. And whilst this looks brutal, it is necessary, like I said, because if we don't do it, there is a high possibility that they will reject the queen if they have other options. So we want them to be completely, hopelessly queenless. And as you've seen, there's so many queen cells in this hive. There's another 2, 3, 4. And if we hadn't shaken those bees off, we'd have had no idea that these were here. Pour it and I didn't know it. They will all be confused for a little while, but like I said, we will give them time to settle before we start going into any other hives, just to make sure we don't encourage any kind of robbing or things like that. That one's all pollen, and there's nothing on that side. Okay, so let's just go back through one more time, double check. I missed these yesterday, so I've came back the next day quickly to fix these off because I realised in the video they're glaringly obvious. I don't know how I missed them yesterday. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the queen in the cage, which this bee's already interested in, if you look, on here, and let's just see what happens before we do anything else. Next one on there. Just going to try and put this back in here, but there are so many bees in here. Oh! Come look at the front, Jade.
Look at you. Okay.
Need these guys to smell this queen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the queen in without her being without uncapping the end, and then I'm going to put the whole hive back together. I just give these guys a bit of a chance to get back inside. Okay, right, we're going to go to the other side now while we let the other one calm down. Getting capped. Not quite capped yet though. I think this is maybe a bit too high for this. Yeah, lift this up. Yep. I know, I look weird. Double position now, hopefully. Okay, so we've got a full frame of honey and pollen there in the brood box. which could be because we've double brooded it and they've put all the brood downstairs and brought the honey up, which I haven't got into the super yet. I lied immediately. Full tray. Good laying pattern. This queen's always had quite a good laying pattern, though, to be fair. Another good laying pattern. Capped brood. All we're really checking for in this hive is that there are no signs of swarming and that we have eggs. So there are eggs in there. I don't know if that camera will be able to pick them up because of how dark that is, but larva in the bottom. Whoops. Yes, I'm sorry. Full brood. Already capped brood on it. I know that's not always the case, but in the queen in here, as long as I can see eggs. And we have tons of capped brood still. Great. Since we put the second brood box on, again, lots of larvae. Lots of larvae waiting to get capped. Whole way throughout. On both sides.
What?
That bee just killed that forky tail. There was a forky tail trying to run into the hive and it just jumped on it. Yeah. I thought it was going for me, but it wasn't. There's eggs in that one. I don't know if you can zoom in and see them. So the queen could be kicking around this area. And we've got capped brood on this one. And a full thing of honey on that side. Quite a tight fit, that one. And let's see what they've done below. This is going to be a heavy frame. Already filling her out. So I'm just going to put that on there. Full of pollen. Drawn out. Yeah, drawing this one out crazy quick, but that's because there's a lot of bees in here. These guys are getting a bit flighty. They are basically just building out this whole box. I think next week's when we'll start to see this one starting to fill up with eggs, hopefully. Whoops. That's not going to help them stay in calm. Yeah, there's no eggs currently in there. But to be fair, like I said, they're not even really fully drawn out, so they're still in the process. But that's going to be a nice big colony going into winter. And they're the locally adapted ones, so I suppose they had the best chance as it was. And those M3 frames are pretty much empty. So let's put this guy back together. That is heavy. Did you get them? Why is that not tightening? There we go. Cool. Next one. So nothing going on upstairs at the minute, and I need to get the clips for this actually, so bear with me. I bought some Amazon special, if they'll even fit.
Still film, or do you want us to help you?
I think stop filming for a sec while we do this. Okay, that was way harder than I thought it was going to be, because these little lugs here are exactly the size of the frame, and they are really hard to push on once you've done it. So basically you have to put them on completely flush with the end of it, and then you need to find something to press down on, which you'll be able to see on this camera, maybe, if I move my hand, and then hold the other edge of it and push it down to where you need it to be. Like that. Now my additional problem is, I thought this was going to be the same as a castellation setup, however the spacing still looks wrong. I only wanted 10s, so it should have been something along the lines of I think it's only a little bit off, to be honest. It's just a bit annoying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push them all the way forward like this, make sure they're all flat, because they've done some brace comb on the bottom for them already. So I like the concept of the castellated metal ones, but the problem is you can't use the oxalic acid treatment because it'll make them rust, whereas these plastic ones won't have that problem. However, these are the wrong size, so, and they're a pain in the arse to put on. So I'll have a look at them. I'm going to have a look online and see if I can get them, or I'll 3D print some more. However, the frames down here look a lot more filled out, so let's have a good look. This is the one I had to depropylize last time as well, wasn't it?
You threw one of them straight in the field. But she's only been in here for...
No, it's 2 weeks now. You guys are making it hard to inspect. Yes, I know, I'm making a noise for you. Get off. I'm trying to do this without injuring any of you. The pollen frame. So they are starting to fill it out, but there is quite a lot of stores on there. Again, I was quite concerned about the amount of stores that were in this colony. I don't know why I've just put that back in. Take that one out again. No queen on there, so we're fine. There's this whole sheet is honey and pollen. Honey and pollen, so both of those are honey and pollen. Honey and pollen. Honey and pollen. Did I not check aboard this last week? Lots of pollen and honey. Lots of pollen and honey. So they're building up lots of stores, but it doesn't look like they're using any of it. So there is brood and larva in here. And it looks like there's a lot of newborn bees in here, because I can see on the bottom here there's loads of furry guys. Laying pattern is good in the frames that have, I can see the queen on the next one there. I'm just going to take that off of the bottom here again, because I'm pretty sure they did that last time as well. Watch your legs, bees, or you're going to get stuck in it. Exactly like that. I'll get him out in a sec. Here, yeah, sorry. So they get their legs trapped like this, so if I can just coax gently, coax your leg back out. There we go. I know, tough life, get back in there. Okay, so yes, I can see the queen on this next one. Kind of weird for her to be on a brood frame that's fully capped, but she is in there. Fully capped brood frame. A little bit on the bottom of that one, so we'll take that off. In fact, you know, I'm just going to pull that off. It's easier than setting loads of bees. Off you get, please. She's still on the back. Yes, she is. Big girl. So, we've seen some uncapped larvae. We've got lots of pollen sheets. These guys really, for some reason, are enjoying putting comb on the bottom, which I don't want them making a big mess. Now this next frame, with any luck, should be an egg frame. It's a larva frame. And very small. Can you see in there? Quite a lot of stores in this colony. Not been upstairs yet, which is a bit weird. Because I would have thought the queen would have started to get upset and said, "Get me more space." But it could be a number of bees problem. So that one's a pollen sheet. What's that one? That one's a pollen sheet. So we've got 2 outer pollen sheets with honey. That's a brood, so we'll leave that one there. That's a brood, so we'll put that there, and I'm going to put a food sheet in between. This one is another brood sheet. And then I'm going to put another stores sheet in between. I think the queen was on this one, was she? Yeah, there she is. So we'll put her back in there. And then we'll put another stores one in. Queen, I really don't like you being on that edge. Okay, so we'll put that back in there. What was this one? That one is another brood sheet. And this one is also a brood sheet. So I'm going to put that one against the wall there. And then this one in next here. If we put that back on there. So for now, there's nothing in the top. The bottom's quite, there's quite a lot of honey in the bottom, but I'm just going to put this one back together. There's not anything immediate that needs done in there. They've got plenty of stores. They've got brood in all stages. I haven't put that back in, so that's a bad idea. That could have been a disaster. Tighten her down, and we're good. This one we added a double brood to last week as well?
No, this one's still being double brooded for 2 weeks.
Ooh, so this should be a big one. Ooh, and they've properlised the top, which means that there's probably honey in it. Can't even get the two though. Oh, there's a lot of bees up there. I'm going to take this super off to have a look because I can't get the camera high enough to see it. But it is heavy. And they have glued it down very well. check for the queen on the bottom.
No.
Nope.
Gotta squish them, guys.
Okay, so looking in this one, again we've got lots of honey, but we're not quite capped over yet, so the moisture content will still be quite high. That one's nearly there. That one's not. Oh, I don't like a brood frame on the end. That means Queenie could be on the end. I don't like that. Yeah, I'm not going to put that on that side actually, because that hive's still got quite a lot out the front. Lots of brood. Lots of brood. Larva in the bottom of there, multiple stages. Bit thicker on that side. Did we see the queen in this one last week?
It's not a really fast queen.
This one and the end one are quite fast. But yes, this is a fast queen. She runs along the bottom, which is the problem. But like you said, I don't really know what the status of the bottom of this hive is, because last time we were here there was nothing really filled out. You can see eggs in the bottom of there, so we do have eggs. So she's been in here since we last inspected. But like you said, she's fairly quick. Multiple stage larva in that one. Some capped, some not capped on that one. Whoops. Capped on that one. It's all stores. Lots of brood and stores. Okay. I've seen eggs, so again I'm happy that she's in here. Just gotta very slowly drop this back in to avoid rolling any bees or getting any stuck like that one. Wrist. Yep. It's heavy. So, drawing it out. Drawing it out. Pollen. Eggs, so she could be down here. But like Jade said, oh, there she is. Quite a dark queen. That's the Carniolan. Alright, I've seen her. This is all just going back together now. I'm not planning on. Just quickly check that couple here. Nothing going on there. Okay, so she's in the bottom brood box, and the top brood box is functioning. So this colony is double brood properly, whereas the other one is just getting started. Watch out, ladies. Super back on, which is also now heavy. On. So that colony's safe from wasps. Fingers crossed. That colony I'm slightly worried about, and that colony is safe from wasps, and I think this one will be as soon as we get it queen right, because that's got a, I forgot the name of the queen now. That's going to be a Carpathian, which we've just put in there. That's a Carniolan. That is a Buckfast, the Lutz Eggbert edition, and that one is a locally adapted. We also have another Buckfast one in the nuke at the house. Okay, so we're coming back to this hive. They still haven't quite all gone back into the hive, but I think I'm just going to open up the top, take the landing board off and just shake it into the top of the hive. We're going to see what the other bees inside are currently doing with the queen, because I can hear them fanning now, which is normally a good sign that they're excited to have a queen. So I'm just going to take all this stuff back off from the super and set it on here. But what can we see here? Are these guys interested in this queen or not? What do you reckon? Get up here and have a look, Jade. Are they interested in a good way? What do you think? There's no aggressive behaviour there, is there? They're all just saying, get in here and lay some more eggs so we can get bigger.
I can't see any trying to sting.
Okay, so
I can see feeding.
then that's a good win. And these are Buckfast bees, so they're normally pretty chill. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this tab here, which then gives the bees access to eat the fondant out and get into the queen. My queen. So, can you lot please go down into the hive? I'm going to put this queen in right in the middle here. Excuse me, ladies. This colony is totally queenless, meaning they have no materials left to make their own queen, but giving them that queen should fix the issue. Why didn't that work before? To get them away from the entrance? Okay, that's him about to get it. Right, let's leave him to chill.